Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new stream of Zbit and Cheesy Bit, where we talk everything that's related to cryptocurrency, financial markets, and financial products. Guys, a very, very warm welcome to all of you. I know I'm coming after a long time, and you're seeing me after a very, very long period of time, probably maybe just about 10 to 12 days that you're seeing me after. As much as I am excited to see you guys and to be able to connect with you all once again, I'm sure you guys are also excited as well. So we are back again. I went on to my, I went on my Eid holidays, which you all know. Before leaving, I actually told you guys that I'm going for an Eid holiday. So that is what I did, and that is what I was enjoying my time all the time. This is what I was doing. So because it's very hot out in UAE, of course it's summertime, I really didn't get much time to kind of explore a lot of places, except that I was actually just could go only during evening times, and I was just only able to go to UAE itself, like not out of UAE, of course. So it was good. It was a great time. I went out of the Emirate and I was able to explore the other Emirates in UAE. So my whole time went into doing that. Didn't get much time during daytime to kind of explore. Yes, of course, during evening I was able to go to certain places, which I did, and I had really awesome time. So spent my time by the sea, spent my time, going to the beaches, enjoying the water, enjoying the beautiful facilities in the hotel. I had amazing time spending in saunas, jacuzzis, and spending time in swimming pools and beaches and whatnot. So that is how my, holidays have been. So I am really excited to be back. And as usual, you know that I come live between 4 to 8 p.m. So you guys know that I am live between this time. So how are you guys doing? How is Dubai? How is UK? How is US? How is everyone out there who joins these streams from across the globe? How are you guys doing? So, that last month, in the month of June, June or end of May, I think, is when Zbit was launched, which basically got all of us a great, place to begin with. So all of you know that we've been talking about Zbit since so long, the new exciting offers on it, the new giveaways, the new, products, features, everything that it has to offer. So here we are going to see that there are some like live campaign events that are going on. We all know that it is basically happening right now, right away. If you haven't registered, you got to register yourself. I'm going to show you just a sec. I am going to show you how this whole thing works. It's just such an easy process to begin with. Trust me when I say it. All you have to do is, once you get onto the Zbit platform, you just have to register yourself. Once you register yourself, there is, this option of verification here on the top corner. You just go and get yourself registered. The name, basically name, account, and your country and region, all of these are there, which needs to be filled. And then you need to just submit one document, which is your passport, and you're good to go with it. So maybe a selfie with your own picture. And other than that, you just need to verify yourself with very minimalistic kind of KYC that you have to do. Probably if our customer service team basically finds something incomplete or maybe not sufficient information, they might come back with asking maybe certain questions, or maybe asking you further questions or further documents or things like that. But my honestly speaking, my verification was so easy. Trust me, I just had to submit only the passport, and that's how it was done. Probably if they ask you something else, maybe a PAN card or a Aadhaar card. I don't know, like maybe if they ask you something extra, then you have to provide that. Otherwise, passport is what all, the only document that you need, and you get verified yourself on this platform. So once you, the moment you download this, I'm going to send you my referral link. Hold on for a second, just a sec, before we actually begin the session, because we're going to be connected to each other for more than, like, we are going to be connected for 4 hours here altogether. So let me just send you my guys, hold on, I'm sharing my referral link. So as you can see, there is a QR code on the screen right now, which you can use to scan it on and then download this app. Otherwise, the next best option that you have is you can download, just a sec. You can download it using my link too. Okay, so I'm going to go to my link and share it with you guys. I have my referral code here, which you can also use to register yourself on the application using my code. I'm sharing it with you guys on the chat room. Okay. And my referral code is so people who do not know what basically Zbit is all about, let me just put a bit of emphasis on what Zbit is all about. So Zbit is basically it's a crypto exchange. It's a very new crypto exchange. Okay, so if you have been maybe trading on spots or futures or things like that, then you know that then there are a lot of crypto exchanges. Of course, Binance is one of the largest crypto exchanges. We have so many across the globe: eToro, Kraken, OKX, whatnot names. In fact, in India, I'm sure you guys must have a lot of options too over there. Over there, maybe you might be using Delta Exchange. I don't know what all different exchanges that you use. So even I think Zbit can be considered as one of the options, given that you guys are associated with this channel for quite some time. So people who have been with us past 6 months or 5 months, or since the time we have started, that Zbit is there for quite some time, and we are there to cater to all your needs. Right now, at the moment, we have our what options we have available. I'm going to show you just a sec. So once you register yourself on the app with your login ID, here is the option where you can actually verify yourself, and it's very easy. You can verify yourself with all these details, and you can actually just put your passport details and country of issue, and all of that, and then you are good to just verify yourself. It's that easy, that simple, nothing difficult. Now, one of the crazy thing is, like, you have here under the reward center, you can see here there are some rewards that are going on. So for the early users, for people who are joining our platform and using this platform, you have some lottery that's going on. So if you click on this, you can see there's a lucky draw that's going on. So here it says get your first crypto assets at zbit.com. So, there are some rules and regulations applied. You need to KYC and deposit money and all of that. There is some requirement out here. So it says that register to enter. After successfully registering your Zbit account, you can immediately participate in a draw with prizes automatically credited to your account. Mobile number binding. Complete the mobile number binding to immediately receive rewards in your spot account. Then activity duration, the KYC verification and deposit doubling reward activity is valid for 7 days. Rewards cannot be claimed if not completed within this period. So you need to KYC yourself. For that, new user reward into one, that is equivalent doubling. And deposit reward, you will be able to 5x or 100x your reward. Basically, if you deposit any crypto, like any fiat, and you buy any crypto on our platform, then you can 5x or 100x your reward. If the total trading volume of contracts or spot trading is less than 500 USDT within 30 days of registration, all rewards may be reclaimed by the system. So that is what it says. Prohibition of malicious behavior such as opening multiple accounts for arbitrage, reusing on-chain funds, committing fraud or other violations. Zbit reserves the right to cancel participation, eligibility and reclaim rewards. Final interpretation rights. The rule of this activity are explained by zbit.com. Okay, so this is what the lottery is going on. Probably if I get the chance to show you guys, I'll do this. So what does it say? So it says the registration time does not meet the lottery requirements. Lottery conditions, it says. I think I'm probably, because I have registered, but I did not, something is wrong with it. Of course, I have registered myself, I have KYC myself. I have to actually maybe deposit the money, maybe. Oh, did I miss out on the... I think probably I have entered. I think it had time criteria, which I missed out the deadline, I believe. I'll have to check. Was there any expiry for it? Give me a second. As far as I can see, I'm not too sure, guys. Actually, there is some. Why does it say like that to me? I'm not too sure. Because as far as I know, here I don't see any reason not to be able to participate. Probably it's a deadline, but I don't see any deadline, any date mentioned, anything as such. But still, it looks like it's not allowing me to do so. Anyways, that's about Zbit. So you have this lucky draw. Although for me it does say I am not eligible, but probably I don't know if it is to do with you guys. Also, anyways, you guys can register and deposit and see for yourself whether this is working out for you or not, because this rewards are not going to stay forever. Now, another bug event that was going on, which I also wanted to reiterate before we begin our session for today, is like there is this bug event that is going on the platform. So if you are able to hunt for any bug, which is basically reporting any problem out there while using it, so you stand the chance to get a reward, which is like anything between $5 to $50 is what you get in USDT terms. So you can see our Telegram channel available on the screen, which you can use to scan and to register yourself. And there's a QR code too, which you can see on the screen, and I have shared my link as well, guys. So there are 3 ways through which you can be part of our community and to be part of our channel, as well as to be part of our app. What you can do is you can scan this QR code to download the app and then register yourself and get the chance to even enter into the lottery and participate in this bug hunting event. Another thing is you can join this Telegram community. Our Telegram community has grown very big right now. That's good. We are seeing a lot of progress on that front. I'm going to show you that our Telegram community on the screen. Just a sec. So our Telegram community, you can see that we have got basically 974 members right now, which are part of this particular community. Here we discuss everything that's about cryptocurrency, everything that's related to trending coins, what's happening in the market, what's trending and all of that. So right now what is being shared here is like there's top 5 trending coins which we are talking about from July 4th, like that's today's news. That XRP back in the spotlight after fresh legal and adoption news, up by 5% today. Pengu, I don't know, Pengu is how you say. Pudgy Penguins, Memex NFT combo is winning hearts again. Community events pushed it up by 9.8%. Sui major partnerships plus tech upgrades, bullish momentum up by 25% since June. Hyperliquid, which is new liquidity pools and low float narrative spark interest, up by 20% recently. Jupiter, Solana's top DEX is flying after platform upgrades. Price gained 12% this week. So in the top 5 trending coins. We have these that is, being circulated in the community. And another thing is Bitcoin to 150k. Trump's big beautiful bill may trigger it. In late 2020, Bitcoin rallied 38% after Trump signed a major stimulus package. Now with the big beautiful bill possibly landing this Independence Day, analysts are watching closely. So if history repeats, BTC could hit 150 within weeks. So you guys need to watch it out. If in case you're invested into Bitcoin, then there are good chances that we might see some kind of things happening on that front. Bitcoin prices soaring to 150,000 is what is being expected. So all the other things being same, you can see that this particular event is even part of this Telegram community. So you can register and win popular tokens like Doge, Pepe, and Solana, and then send directly to your spot wallet. So guys, if you are not registering yourself right now, you're missing out on a great opportunity. And once an opportunity is lost, it's lost forever. So do make sure that you enter into this contest and you enter into our platform so that you can get some free crypto credited to your spot wallet account. Now this is not a piece of information which comes from I think it's from the morning. It says that Rect Capital wants Bitcoin bull run may end sooner than expected. Crypto analyst Rect Capital suggests that the current BTC bull cycle could peak in just 2 to 3 more months, possibly around October 2025. While some expect the cycle to extend into 2026, Rect cautions against ignoring time-tested halving models in favor of new narratives. So yeah, I think that's a piece of information on Bitcoin. And okay. Now let's move on to the live cryptocurrency news. So we can see the market overview here. Bitcoin at 108, 884, and Ethereum at 2,551.18, BNB at 659.82 dollars, Solana at 150.44. So basically, all of them seems to be negative. Bitcoin is down by 0.59%, Ethereum is down by 1.91%, BNB is down by 0.52%, Solana is down by 2.53%, even XRP is down by 2.86%. So it's trading at 2.2371 dollars, and the fear and greed index shows clearly that it is at a neutral neutral zone right now. So not much happening on that front, in that sense that people are neutral about what is happening currently in the markets. Now that the Iran-Israel war has ended, the ceasefire has happened, and everything has come to a halt. We did see Bitcoin, I think until yesterday also, it was almost rallying till 109 or something. And because of whatever is happening in the market across, we know that probably in coming few weeks or something, it might as well hit the benchmark of 150,000. This is what is expected, because there are so many legislations that are being passed on, the new adoptions that are happening across. So all these things are basically bringing in some really great exciting news for Bitcoin. Definitely market capitalization stands at 3.35 trillion, volume is at 104.24 billion dollars. And the Bitcoin dominance, let's see what is the Bitcoin dominance. It stands at 64.6%, and Ethereum is at basically 9.2%. So just a sec. So overall, we can see that the Bitcoin dominance is at 64.6%. Still, despite of all the things that we see, that it juggles between so many things, it keeps on like the market volatility is always there. The news across the globe that overall impacts the markets, but still the dominance of Bitcoin remains as is. It is not moving anywhere. So Ethereum at 9.2%, others it's 26.2%. So we can see clearly that Bitcoin is there for long run. I don't know, for some reason, no matter how the cryptocurrencies basically see any kind of what do you call, any kind of roller coaster ride that they see, but Bitcoin is not just there to die there. It's just there to always dominate, to always be the star that they are supposed to be. And I don't know, with the kind of adoption it gets, with the kind of acceptance it gets, the way it gets embraced by everybody, I think it is there to grow, it is there to skyrocket. Like always, we know that, we see so many videos of people, especially the major crypto influencers like, Michael Saylor, if I talk about, or if I talk about the Trump family, Donald Trump the Jr. or Eric Trump, if I talk about all of them, they always predict, they always say that Bitcoin is there to skyrocket, right? Bitcoin is there to touch the skies. That's what they say. Sky is the limit is what this is. So I think it is going to, no matter whether there's a war, whether there's going to be any natural calamity, there's going to be anything that's going to be there, Bitcoin is there to survive. It's not something that is going to die out so soon, that is going to finish off just like it. So it's a beautiful it's a good situation to be in. Let me just see what's on the altcoin season side. So out of 100, it has given a 23 rating to it. Now what does that seem? It seems that the Bitcoin is more dominant, while basically altcoins remains at 23. So that is what it, and you can see on my screen there are top 100 coins performance over 90 days. So there is this syrup which has performed at 394.02%. Pango is performing at 246.48%. Hyperliquid is at 225.59%. Then there is Virtual, which is performing at 195.91%. So guys, it's not just about the major top cryptocurrencies or the major projects, but the other altcoins also, other coins are also there to perform. All it takes is that you have to do a bit of research on your own self, and also make sure that the project is not just there just like it. You have to be a bit on the thing that maybe you have to be a little diligent in terms of what suits you best, because what suits me may or may not suit you, as well as it's a different perspective altogether. So you see, there's so many alternative coins to this. Some of them are meme coins. Some of these I know some of you totally believe and totally are meme coin lovers. You guys like to invest into that, so there's nothing wrong in it. It's just that a bit of diligence is all it is required, and then you can still look into some of these beautiful cryptos also. See, you can see Syrup 39. While there is no 100% guarantee on any of it surviving, being there in the long run, or it's going to give you 100% profit or something, but the option is always available. But now how you utilize that and how you make money out of it is something that you have to watch it for yourself. I have seen in my own friends, in my own people, that people do make money through altcoins, through meme coins too. But yes, it does come with a lot of risk. At the same time, the returns can be very, very lucrative. You can see yourself that the 394 for 246, like look at the numbers, 225%. That's a growth that it is seeing. Virtual 195.91, Fartcoin at 132.89%, SPX at 128.37, Aave at 74.4, C is 63.6. So you see, so many of them are doing like exceptionally well, and here is where the BTC is standing. It's at 30.42. As per the top 100 coins performance, I think, where is it standing? Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, almost at the 24th ranking. And after BTC, immediately there's Sui that you can see, which is performing at 29.45%. Solana is at 25.27. So Solana is at 25 here. So all our major cryptos you can see is here. Render is here. Where is XRP? Doge is a bit down. It's 1.76%, not giving much of it. So the major cryptos which we always talk about, and the major cryptos we always look out for, all are almost in the ranking here, like following each other. So BTC, Sui, Solana, all of them are here. So even if we talk about less less of growth, but balance kind of a thing, I think it's doing good in that sense. For example, like if I have to compare to all of this, like Pengu, Hyperliquid, Virtual Fartcoin, if I have to compare any of my stable coins here with a relation to these top 100 performing coins out here, which are all over here, which are giving around 394.02% or 246. The point here is it all totally depends, given that these are still under the very, very they are stable, first thing, and second thing is they are fundamentally very strong projects. So even if you see, like maybe you're just getting 30%, 20%, 29%, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what we are getting into. It's basically still a stable project which is there for survival, which is there for stability. So we are not losing out on anything as such. Yes, these also can be considered. So at the moment, let me just have a look at the I think I'll have a look at the Zbit app, and I'm going to tell you what all out of all these, what all we have available, which you can trade on the Zbit app in the spot trading and the futures trading. So out of all this top 100 that we have here, we have BTC, ETH, XRP, Solana, Cardano, Doge, TRX, Shiba, Link, Ton, BNB, INJ, XLM, Avalanche. No, sorry, not Avalanche. It's AVAX, HBAR, BCH, DOT. So out of all this, see, BCH is there, LTC, Uni, WLD, Near, Aave, ETC, Pole, Trump, FIL, ENS, Algo, ARB, Render, TIA, Pepe. So all these are available on the Zbit app. So if you haven't explored it as yet, you have to go and explore it. So even in the futures contract, we have almost all of these available, except few names are slightly different. So Okay, that's on the altcoin season side. Okay. So right now it says it's a Bitcoin season, not an altcoin season. So uh, obviously Bitcoin has been seeing some kind of great dominance. On the altcoin side, we have some of them like outperforming like really well, some of them still, despite of all the the downs that we are seeing, whether whatever is happening across the globe, for whether we talk about any hacks, whether we talk about any major like the wars that have happened recently. If I talk about Iran Israel war, anything that I talk about which has negatively impacted the overall crypto markets, despite of all of that, we can see some of them have been performing like outperforming, actually, in fact, like you can see. And with things getting back to normal right now, the Bitcoin is again taking back its momentum. It's basically it's a Bitcoin season. As per the altcoin season index, it does say that it's a Bitcoin season index, and it's basically seeing a surge still, and we will continue to have something on that front going forward. So let's just move on to the bit of news here and see what's happening on the news front. I will be taking you through each one of them too. I want to open each one of them and take you through each one of the projects, what's happening, what's cooking on that front. So we'll have a look at all of them, okay? Especially the major 4 to 5 stable cryptos that we always talk about. Okay, Bitcoin has been seeing a down by 0.27%. So, what is actually impacting the overall Bitcoin, price movement is, of course, Bitcoin's 0.67% or 0.27% price dip in 24 hours. It's reflecting the profit taking near key resistance, which means mixed macro signals and dormant whale activity. So, if the whales are highly active in this market, we kind of tend to see a lot of momentum that keeps happening. So this dip is primarily seen because everybody like this, people who are invested into Bitcoin, they are basically taking the profits at the key resistance level, and then they're just getting out of it. So resistance is standing at 110k, triggered profit taking after failed breakout attempts. DXY weakness failed to boost BTC amid tariff rate cut uncertainty. 20k BTC moved from 14-year dormant wallets, raised supply concerns. So these are some of the major reasons why Bitcoin is basically seeing a dip, which is about 0.18% right now. But I think past 24 hours, it has been seeing around a 0.67% dip. That is what it, is pointing out at. So Let's move on to Ethereum. Let's see why are Ethereum prices down. So Ethereum's prices are down for 24 hours is because there is a technical decline reflects technical resistance, whale activity and broader market caution. Whale transfers around 92,873 Ethereum has moved in 10 minutes. So including a 51 million transfer to Coinbase institutions. So this is why we can see a slight dip on the Ethereum side. The technical rejection, there's a failed breakout above 2,680 resistance, testing 2,540 support. So the breakout should have been at 2,680, but then it kind of had, held back till 2,540 support. So clearly it's seen over there, and then that's the reason we can see there is a dip of around 1.83% overall. But at the moment, I know as I'm speaking right now with you guys, it's 0.69%. So total market capitalization has fell to 1.13%, with Bitcoin dominance rising to 64.57%. So the primary catalyst, the primary reasons why it is happening is there is a whale activity, of course, 51 million Ethereums basically to Coinbase institutional, 20,000 transfer to Coinbase institution suggests potential sell side pressure, and 40,000 Ethereum between wallets. Large internal movements like 40k Ethereum often precede volatility as whales reposition themselves. So Ethereum Foundation moved 1,000 Ethereum internally and maintaining neutral sentiment but adding to market uncertainty. So this is what is on the Ethereum's front. Now let's just move to BNB. Then we'll look into Solana and then XRP. Okay. So all of them seems to be going down. All of them are negative. So here we have something on the BNB side too. So BNB is also seeing a dip. As of now, when I'm talking to you guys, it's standing at 0.009%, and the dip has been like around 0.5% in 24 hours, and it reflects muted market-wide sentiment, institutional accumulation and balancing regulatory and FUD and technical resistance struggles. Macro headwinds, crypto market capitalization has fell by 1.13% as Bitcoin dominance rose to 64.57%. CZ's POR delay, Binance delayed proof of reserves report sparked minor sell pressure. So, this is also one of the reasons why basically BNB is seeing. So, CZ, who was former CEO or co-founder of, I wouldn't say he was former co-founder, he's a co-founder of course, but he was a former CEO of course. So Binance delayed its proof of reserves report, so that has kind of sparked a little of selling pressure out there. Technical friction price has rejected at $661 pivot point, testing Fibonacci support. So on the technical aspect of it is just not so, the price basically, of course, there's no enough buying pressure out there. There's much of selling pressure out there, given that the market capitalization has fell down, the Bitcoin dominance remains same, but then this technical resistance and FUD is all creating the prices of BNB also further to go down. So I think probably some of the delayed decisions by the management or by the influential people, things like that, have impacted the overall performance of BNB as well. Now coming to Solana, why Solana's price is down? Basically Solana's price is down because Solana 2.5% price has declined, reflects a technical breakdown, bearish market sentiment and sector-wide risk aversion. failed technical support at 160 amid weakening momentum indicators, security concerns from a malicious GitHub bot draining wallets. So slight security concerns on that front. That's the reason we're seeing Solana's price also bit going down. Altcoin underperformance. Bitcoin dominance hits 64.57% because it's a Bitcoin season. Probably the altcoins are not doing that well. That is what is being seen on the Solana's front. Okay. Now moving on to the XRP. XRP 2.82 price drop in 24 hours reflects whale sell-offs. Ripple's token unlock and failed resistance test amid broader markets weaknesses. So whales have dumped around 600 million XRP, 1.2 billion in 24 hours, triggering selling pressure. Ripple unlocked 500 million XRP on July 4th. So guys, we all know this fact that whenever any token is unlocking something, like they unlock some tokens, which means that supply in the market increases influentially, like drastically. That's the reason we see that the prices of such particular cryptos go down drastically too. Like Ripple right now on July 4th basically have unlocked 500 million XRP basically. So that has added to supply concerns. Now if the supply has like drastically changed, like has drastically gone up, it means that the what we talk about, the demand for it is not met, then probably we might not see anything happening on that front. So we might see that the prices of it shooting further down because the supply is ample in the market, but whereas it is not going, it is not meeting the demand of the people. I mean, of course, it can meet the demand of the people, but the people are not there. The buyers are not, there are not enough buyers in the market to kind of buy that. That's the reason we can see the prices will always be, prices will shoot down during the unlockment period. So rejection at 2.27 resistance has reinforced bearish technical sentiments. So this is what the major reason is all about for the XRP to not do well. So all of them, all the top altcoins, all the top projects out there have some major reasons to obviously reflect upon. They definitely have some major things because of which they are not performing well. So we all know for a fact, and we all have been following all of this and what are the major reasons. So if in case you feel like you have to invest into any of these, you have to do your own research for what it looks like, because all these projects are fundamentally strong, but what the future holds is what matters. So probably right now also, because they are all of them are at say if I go to the crypto market overview, so some of them are at 0.1%, some of them are 1% down, 0.98%, 0.008%. So of course there is ample buying opportunity, but buying at the right price is what something that we need to look at. And how do you determine whether the current prices are the actual prices that we should be looking at? In case you would like to see, I would like to tell you a bit of mechanism. Not necessarily this is what you should follow or you should be following, because there are various ways through which the price of any commodity is actually not commodity, I would say the price of any company, like the share price of any company or the price of any crypto is determined, which is basically based on the PE ratio. So what is PE ratio is basically it's a price to earnings ratio in which we determine the capacity, where basically what the price of that particular crypto or that particular company is, it is it fairly calculated, in the sense, are we actually paying fair value for the share price, or for the, the price that it is circulating in the market, as compared to the earnings that it has, as it has for the long run. So it's a bit of calculations, it's a bit of mathematical thing that we need to see and analyze, and do that in order to determine. So some of the people who, like, especially the investors, what they do is they use PE ratio in order to determine whether they can actually buy at the current price. For example, now when you're looking at Ethereum, okay, Ethereum is trading at $2,548. Now you must be wondering, is that the right price? Because it's already down by 0.96%. What if you buy at this price, which is 0.96%, down? So is it the right price to buy, or are you buying it at a fair price, or are you buying it at a very high price? Or is it okay to buy at this price? These are the questions when we are actually still deciding, when you do not know where to enter into the market. So one methodology which always helps, and which will always guide you in terms of making sure that you are not entering it at a very high price, is the PE ratio that we're talking of, price to earnings ratio. So if you know what the net income of that particular project or that particular company is, then based on that you can actually see right now. Right now you can see that the price of Ethereum is at 2,547, right? And basis the net earnings, you can divide both of them, price divided by the net income. Whatever you get the outcome of it, the resultant outcome, that will show you the price to earnings ratio, which basically will determine whether it is a fair price at which we are buying the stock or the cryptocurrency, or it is undervalued or overvalued, is what we will find out. Now how you do this is basically you will be the 10 to 15, if you get any denomination or the outcome or the results which is anywhere between 10 to 15, then that amount is supposed to be, or that price is supposed to be considered as fair value, like fair value of what you're paying for it. But if you see that it is below 10, or if it is above 15, then it is either undervalued or it is overvalued. So if you see any amount which is above 15, then the price is overvalued, and if it is under 10, then the price is basically undervalued. So in order to make sure that you're buying your stock or your crypto at a fair value, then you have to make sure that the resultant output that you get out of your PE ratio is anywhere between 10 to 15. So that will help you in making the decision whether you should buy it at fair value, or you should buy it when it is undervalued, or whether you should buy it at overvalue. Of course, overvalue is not a thing for all of us. Obviously, we will not buy it when it is overvalued, because it's already at a very high price that we are buying it at. So there is no point buying it at a overvalued price. So for us, if we know what the fair value price of it is, then anything below that level can be our starting point, our point of entry, our point of buying. Whether it's for trading or it's for long-term purposes, it doesn't matter, but it can be our point of entry. So now let's take it as an example and do this a bit of math here. Probably I'll open this and I'll show you here on this screen. So imagine, I'm going to open my text here. Imagine right now the price of any crypto, like let's just assume price of XRP, okay? If the price is at price is $2, okay? and net income say, let's just assume that the net income is 10,000. Or say, let's say 100,000. Is this looking too? Is it looking too big number? Anyways, let's just see. So your PE ratio is basically price by earnings. These are hypothetical numbers, guys, so don't worry on that part. Probably it might give you very big number too, or I'll take it as $20 if that's okay. 100,000. So what will be the PE ratio? These are all hypothetical numbers, so whenever you are doing your calculations, you have to do it basis what the current prices of it looks like maybe when you are doing calculations for your own Hi Sayed Baba, thank you for joining in, thank you for being part of the stream, thank you so much. So now let's just see, I'm showing you this now. 100,000, how do you calculate this PE ratio is like price by earnings is what I told you, right? So 20 divided by 100,000. Good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. So how much would that be? So my PE ratio would be okay, let me take it as 200, okay? Probably because it's not giving me right accurate information. 200 divided by 100,000. Okay. Here is evening, ma'am. Where is it evening? Yeah, it's evening, I know. It's 5 p.m. here in Dubai. Yeah, so 200. Sorry, oh, I'm so sorry. 200. Can you see the calculations on my screen? I don't know if you're able to see. Yeah, 200 divided by 100,000 into 100 I'll do. So it's almost like somewhere around 0.2. This is what the denomination was, right? So okay, to give you guys more, I'm going to remove some of the zeros so that the calculations are a bit easier. 20 divided by 1000, sorry, 10,000. Wait, let me remove one more. Okay, 10,000 divided by, sorry, not 10,000, 2 divided by 10,000. It's like 0.0002. So if I multiply this with 1000, or I multiply it with 10,000 itself, so it's going to be like, let's assume it's 2. So now what does this mean? Okay, now what does this mean? So it's 2x actually. Let's just assume this is 2x. So as I told you, if the first condition undervalued, there is another condition which is fair value. Then there is something called overvalued. Okay, so in this example, suppose imagining that the share price of any company is trading at $2 and they have a net income of $10,000 that they basically earned. This is your net earnings after tax. Let's assume that is after tax, that it is a $10,000. Now price earnings. No, we don't have morning here. It is evening only. Sayed Baba, you are also having evening, right? Are you in Dubai or are you in UK? Are you in US? Where are you actually? Okay. While he is answering this question. Okay. So assuming that the price of any share, for example, as on that date is trading at $2. Okay. It is trading at $2. So the net income of that company is at $10. Okay. So the PE ratio, as we know, is price to earnings basically. So price to earnings basically is what, the ratio, the calculation should be. So we have calculated here as 2 by 10,000. Okay. And the denomination we got is 0.0. So we assumed it is a 2x of what basically the calculations look like. So if it is 2x, then basically it is undervalued, right? Like I told you, the undervalue is less than 10 is undervalued. Between 10 to 15 is the fair value. And then if it is overvalued, the price will be above 15. Right? So So, in some of the cases, what happens is basically the PE ratio will not be applicable for cryptos. Reason being, because cryptos basically don't generate earnings, like PE will not apply over there. So companies in the crypto ecosystem, like maybe Coinbase, MicroStrategies, or Marathon Digital, they do have earnings, but um, as such the cryptos will not have PE ratio. So you'll have to see how you can use PE ratio to compare probably Coinbase versus traditional fintechs like PayPal, etc., or Bitcoin mining firms versus gold mining companies, MicroStrategies versus Tesla, and all this. So mostly this particular strategy gets applicable in the stock market very quickly, very easily, because the price to earnings ratio, it is very very common tool among the investors, and they use this to evaluate how expensive or cheap the stock is. So it's a way of answering the question, how much am I paying for $1 of this company's earnings. So we have to see how, the current stock price by earnings per share. And how do you calculate your earnings per share? Earnings per share is nothing but PE, which is basically your price at which it is trading, $100. For example, if 100 is, like in my case, I have taken $2 as the example. So 100 by earning per share is basically $5. So 5 earnings per share here I've taken it as $10, $10,000, right? So I might change it to 200 and 10 here. What would that be? 20. So here in this case, it means that for every you're paying $20 for every $5 that the company is earning per year. So the high PE ratio means that the stocks, or the price of that particular crypto, not crypto, I wouldn't use the word crypto here, I would use stock, or maybe the commodity or the thing that you're buying, maybe an ETF, whatever. It might be overvalued, and investors in this condition expect high growth in the future. So it's a bit tricky here. And then if for example the low the PE ratio is, then it might be undervalued. So it's a slow growth phase. So utility companies, banks, or crypto miners, during a bear market, think that these companies might be of low growth phase companies, like that kind of a thing. So now, what are the various benchmarks that we talk about in these particular thing is that US stocks, S&P 500, the average PE is like 15 to 25% long-term average. Growth stocks, basically 30 to 100 plus. Value stocks are like 5 to 15%, 5 to 15. So, mostly in this particular crypto stocks, often volatile or not available due to negative earnings. So crypto stocks, you can't have a proper benchmark. And moreover, like, because cryptos also don't generate earnings as such, basically, so the PE might not be available until unless, yes, there's a company altogether behind it, which is actually working behind the scenes for it, then it's a different ball game altogether. So you might have the earnings and you might be able to calculate it based on this. So that is what it is. So So we all know that this is the formula that is being used for, basically for, it's being used for stock market. It is basically used in stock markets, or in indexes and things like that. But while crypto is slightly different, it does have some negative returns too. And then at times what happens is basically it will not always earn, it will not earn earnings as such, because they are not, sometimes there are no companies behind it. It's just a cryptocurrency that's existing with no particular like no particular company behind it or things like that. So in that case, what happens is there is another thing which we use, which we calculate, and that is called as the NVT ratio. NVT ratio is nothing but it's like it takes the market capitalization into consideration, and also takes the daily transaction volume in terms of USD, and then that is how it calculates its price to on-chain metrics, which is very important. So if we want to know whether the crypto is overvalued or undervalued, so basically how do you determine whether it's a high NVT or a low NVT is, you need to go to that crypto, check its market value, market capitalization, and you need to also determine daily transaction volume. Take both of them, and then market capitalization divided by the daily transaction volume, and that is how you can network value to transaction. So if you see that the market capitalization, like for example, let me just open this. If I'm able to find the price, I will be able to give you this calculations too. Wait, I'm going to take this. Okay, divided by this is the amount. Divided by 877,484. Sorry, 877,395, 449, 0.77. Let's just assume because every now and then it's going on changing. So it's at 11.48. So in our case, when we calculated it for Sui, I as assuming that this particular amount here, um, this is the volume that it is trading, and this is what we assume that the daily transaction volume is all about. Or do we have any other information here? Let me see. So if I look at these numbers, it's like 11.48 it says, and it kind of reflects basis the formula or basis the information that it is undervalued. So it means it's a good, it's a low NVT which is less than 20, 20 to 50, less than 20 to 50, right? So this is what I wrote here, right? So this is what my, so it's a low NVT, which means network value to transaction. So it's the strong real usage to the strong real usage relative to market capitalization. It's basically it kind of reflects, it's in a basically accumulation phase or post crash phase basically. So it's similar to value stocks in equities, and it suggests a good buying opportunity. So for example, if I take, let's just take Solana here, and I'm not too sure of this volume market capitalization, guys, here, although this is the total volume. Where is Solana? Although it is, let's just see. If it is undervalued or overvalued. Three, four. So this one stands at 23.05. So if we go about with our formula here, so it's still at a low NVT, which is network value to transaction, which means that it is 20, it's ranging between 20 to 50. So it's a low NVT. It still suggests a buying opportunity. So until now, I hope you guys are able to understand what we are trying to do here. So it's a clear understanding whenever we are actually getting into any crypto or you're getting into any stock market or anything. The question always that remains is whether what price you're buying at is the accurate price that you're buying at. Are you buying it at a very high price, or are you buying it at a very low price? Is it undervalued? Is it overvalued? Is it fair valued? What is that we need to understand? First thing, if we understand that, then it becomes very easy for us whether we are buying it at a very cheap price or we are buying it very expensive. So in stock market, it is very easy to calculate. It's based upon the PE ratio that we determine whether any stock is overvalued or undervalued. So how do you calculate your PE? Is basically you divide the price, the market price at which it is trading, divided by the earnings of that company. So which means that the net income of that company. And how do you get that net income? Is you have that figure available. So if, for example, the price at which it is trading is $200 and the net income is basically $10, so 200 divided by 10 is basically what you will be getting, the 20x as the price to earnings ratio. So in order to determine, these are the benchmarks. So if it is undervalued, it is less than 10. If it is fair value, it is between 10 to 15. And if it is overvalued, it is above 15. So here in this case, since it's 20x times, so basically it is overvalued. So basically it's not a good time to buy. This is what it means in this scenario. Now coming to the crypto version of the PE ratio, here basically the NVT ratio is what matters. It does not matter because PE basically might not be applicable in crypto, because they might have earnings, they might not have earnings, which is net income that we are talking about. So network value to transactions is what basically will help in terms of determining what price you can buy it at. So NVT is equal to market capitalization, the total market capitalization of the crypto, divided by the daily transaction volume, which is the US dollars in terms of US dollars. So high NVT. So there are different benchmarks. So if you want to know if it's high NVT, then your calculations, after calculations, the amount should be more than 100 to 150. If it's a low NVT, it's less than 20 to 50. Or if it's a moderate NVT, it's basically between 50 to 100. So based on these benchmarks that we have calculated one or two cryptos out here like Solana and Sui and all. So based on that, we could find that they are under low NVT as of now, because right now they're in the consolidation phase, or maybe because after the post crash hacks and whatever negative news was happening, basis that we can see that right now they are under consolidation phase and they are under low NVT right now. So it's a right time to buy. It's a good time to buy, a great opportunity to buy. That is what it means. So hopefully this will give you an easy way of when to enter the market or when to exit. This is how you determine the prices of crypto, when not to enter, or whether you're buying it at a premium or you're buying it at par or you're buying it at a fair value. What are you buying it at is what it will give you the clear-cut information about. Okay, so yeah, that is what it means. So let's just see. Other thing which basically the traders, what they do, what they tend to do is they basically try to compare the prices to historical averages. So a 200-day moving averages is basically a good indicator or a tool to determine whether it is overvalued or if it is undervalued. So if the current price is above the 200-day moving average, then it clearly indicates it's a bullish, possibly overvalued price that you are at. So you might not want to buy during those periods of time. So you have to be very careful. If the 200-day moving average is above, you know, the current, like the price is above the 200-day moving average, then you will not be buying at that level. That is basically overvalued price, which will be very difficult, because the price might from there might not necessarily go up. It might have the chances of it further going down, and the possibility of it going down becomes more significant in those cases. However, when you see that the price at this present time and date is below 200-day moving average, in that case it's a bearish, undervalued, status, and in that case it is a good time buying opportunity, of course, because what we see is that on the front, that the price is running at less than 200 days moving average. So in that case it is already undervalued, and obviously from there, I will not say that, the possibility or the probability of it going further up will be 100% accurate. It's not necessary. But yes, the possibility of it making good amount of, in the sense to go up, it stands fair enough. Like, the possibility remains 50-50 over there. It's like you can't say it will be the risk associated will definitely come down in that case. It is not like it will basically not remain very high. The risk definitely comes down. So that is what the beauty of it is. So yeah. So guys, while you guys are watching this and you guys are continuing to watch the streams, I'm going to take a small 5 minutes break and I'll be back and we'll be talking more on this part. Okay, we'll be discussing more on this. So guys, I'm back, and like I was mentioning that basically for cryptocurrency, because the PE ratio is a bit of a difficult metric to calculate, in order to determine whether you're buying it at a price which is basically good enough, or if it is a price which is overvalued or undervalued, then in that case we have to make sure that we calculate the NVT ratio, which is the network value to transaction ratio. And how do you calculate that? It is basically market capitalization divided by daily transaction volume, and that is calculated in USDT terms. So that is how you basically enter into a trade, which will basically be either determining if it's a high NVT, if it's a low NVT, or if it's a moderate NVT. Okay. Now, how do you determine whether it's a moderate NVT or if it's low NVT or a high NVT? So, if your calculations, like whatever you've calculated, whether market capitalization, divided by daily transaction volume, if that is more than 100 to 150, whatever the result you get out of this, when you put this into the formula, then basically your that means that it is a high NVT. So it's not a ideal situation to buy. High NVT is not an ideal situation to buy. Either it's low NVT, or if it is moderate NVT is when you can actually look into for buying. But I would still say in moderate NVT also should not be considered. Rather low NVT is a good bigger beginning for all of us. It's like if the calculations after after we do this calculations and we get any denomination between 20 to 50, that should be the point of entry for all of us, because that will be like it's an undervalued crypto, which means that is a great opportunity to buy. So this is what it means, and that is how you should be dealing with it. So yeah. Okay, now moving on. Now, what are the other factors that we also need to see or look into while we are actually looking to get into crypto markets? Like, what is that we have to see? So, one of the very important thing is basically the price that should be above 200-day moving average. So basically, if you know how to calculate moving average is nothing but moving average. How do you calculate is moving average is you add all the days, okay, the 200 days altogether, and divide it by the denomination, which is 200. So how do you get 200-day moving averages? You add all of them and then you divide it by 200, and that is how you get 200-day moving average. Now, out of that 200-day moving average, how do you determine if it is an overvalued crypto or if it's an undervalued crypto? It's basically that 200-day moving average is basically if the current price is going to be above 200-day moving average, then that is overvalued moving average, and if it's below, then it is undervalued. So that is how you determine it. Okay. So in this scenario, basically we are looking into this is overvalued if the price is above the 200, and this is undervalued. So this is also one of the key factors where you can understand and determine whether the price is overvalued or undervalued. Okay, that is how you understand. Now, these are all mathematical calculations which we kind of understand while, these are some mathematical, logical reasoning, logical calculations that we do. But other than that, there is something which also we need to understand, and which is very important, is relative valuation. Now, relative valuation, what does it mean? So relative valuation is like you compare your particular crypto or your particular project with the competitors out there. So for example, you need to compare it and see whether it's a layer one like Solana cheaper or more expensive than others like Ethereum, Avalanche in terms of TVL. So where is your TVL? user count or development activities, etc. So example like Ethereum's, if Ethereum's TVL is 40 billion and market capitalization is 400 billion, Solana's TVL is 10 billion and market capitalization is 70 billion. So Solana may be undervalued versus ETH if usage keeps growing. So this is what, also something that we need to do. So I think, where do you find this information? TVL, let me see. So now, as I was telling you, that relative comparability is very, very important in this particular thing. Now, I used a term called TVL also. Now, what does that word TVL means is what we will be looking at. So, TVL is nothing but total value of all the crypto assets logged for that period. So, it means that in that protocol. For example, in decentralized finance, the amount of assets deposited into a protocol, like staking, lending, yield, farming, or liquidity pools, that is what the VL stands for. So if, for example, users, they deposit 10,000 ETH into a DeFi platform and ETH is $3,000. So your TVL stands at 30 million, which is like 10,000 into $3,000. So you getting what is the difference? Like, what is the actual meaning of TVL? TVL is nothing but total value logged. So if the depositors are putting like 10,000 ETH and the ETH price at that point in time is $3,000, so 10,000 into 3,000 is what? 30 million is TVL, total value logged. So the higher the TVL, more trust, more users, more capital. Acts like assets under management in traditional finance. So you must have heard, if you are, part of traditional finance, then you might be knowing about this term called the assets under management. AUM is what you must have heard of it. So TVL is nothing but assets under management. So the higher the TVL, the better reliability it creates in terms of making sure that the prices are So TVL basically helps compare the platforms, like examples like Uniswap, Curve, Aave, etc. So it kind of, you get to know how much is the money that is logged in for that period, or what for that particular crypto and things like that, so that it reflects assets under management. So this is what TBL stands for, and TBL means. Okay, so it reflects the health and adoption of a chain or app. So this is what it actually tends to do. Now, under the lending protocols, liquidity available to borrow, DEXs like Uniswap, liquidity depth for swaps, staking bridge, total assets secured or moved across chain. So this is another metric through which you can basically find out whether the price of any crypto is overvalued, undervalued, or things like that. So how much assets under management are, how much is there for that crypto. That is how you will determine it. So while NVT ratio and the 200-day moving average is good enough for us to determine, there are different aspects of it which we also have to look. One of the things that I told you is TVL that we talked about, total value of the tokens logged. That is what we need to determine too. Other than that, investors or the traders also look into the sentiments and the narrative indicators apart from this. So if on the fear and greed index you see that there is high greed, it means that it is an overbought condition. And if on the fear and greed index you see high fear, it's like market selling at a discount. So social volume plus developer activities also plays important role. So tools like Sentiment, Lunar Crush or Token Terminal, these will determine the social volume and the developer activity of that token. That will give you ample information about it. And if price is dropping but usage development activity is strong, then it is undervalued. So these are some small things here and there which you need to understand so that you can determine whether the price is overvalued or undervalued. Now what we are seeing is that whether the price of any crypto is overvalued or undervalued, and what is the right time for us to enter into the market, whether at an overvalued situation or an undervalued situation. While the technical indicators on the on the chart will indicate you the prices for that particular time frame. Like if you're seeing a 4 hour time frame, if you're seeing if you're seeing a half an hour time frame, or you're seeing a 45 minutes time frame, or you're seeing a 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever be the time frame, as on that period of time, it is showing you the situation or the status of it. But coming to whether actually you should enter into the market at that point in time, even whatever be the condition on the time frame on the chart, before doing that also there is something which we need to understand, whether the current market price of that particular crypto is actually overvalued, undervalued, or if it is fairly valued. So if it is undervalued is when we enter into the market, and if it is overvalued, it's basically at the high price itself. So this is not an opportunity for us to buy at all. But if it is fairly valued, then you might find an opportunity where it is possible that you can enter into the market below fair value. And even if you don't want to consider fair value, which is okay, you can check for undervalue condition and then enter into the market. That is how your strategy should be. So yeah, let's move on. So the first and foremost thing that we looked into was the PE ratio for the stocks. But since it cannot be directly applied to crypto, we have seen the NVT ratio, which is the network value to transaction ratio, and in which we determine whether the price is high NVT, low NVT, or the moderate NVT. Then we also looked into the moving averages, whether the price is overvalued or undervalued. Other than that, we have also looked into relative valuation, which means that We try to compare it with the competitors to see if it is overvalued or undervalued. Another thing which very is important is the sentiment and the narrative indicators. The fifth thing that we looked into was whether it is under high greed index or if it is under high fear index. So that also we looked into. And other than that, also we have looked into the social volume and the developer activities. That those were also very important for us. So those are also some very important things that we need to assess. Now, other than that, there is tokenomics check as well. So if the token is basically inflationary or deflationary is what also matters. How much is held by insiders? Is there staking, burning, or real yield associated with it, or yield associated